At that time, Blackwell is about to grab a coffee at a cafe, but the moment he sits down, two men nearby keep watching him. Slowly, they pull out their guns, ready to take him out. Before they can act, Thomas moves faster and immediately fires back, taking control of the situation. It turns out both men are rival mafia operatives sent specifically to kill Blackwell. 2 days later, the story shifts to Rossi, a powerful mafia boss who controls Las Vegas. He is giving orders to his crew, and Blackwell is one of the men working under him. Rossi assigns Blackwell a mission to go to a warehouse and capture a rival mafia member. For this job, Blackwell will be accompanied by another of Rossi's men, Felix. Long story short, Blackwell and Felix arrive at the warehouse and carefully make their way inside. But once they get in, they realize the target is already dead. At the same time, a group of police suddenly surrounds them. Without hesitation, Felix is shot and killed on the spot. These officers are led by a detective named Crater, and it quickly becomes clear that they are all corrupt. Crater takes Blackwell's gun and uses it to shoot Felix, staging the scene to make it look like Blackwell is responsible for the murder. After that, Blackwell is taken into custody and scheduled for trial the next day. In court, he faces heavy charges from a police prosecutor. Even though he has his own lawyer, all the evidence has been manipulated to point directly at him. In the end, the judge declares Blackwell guilty of Felix's murder, and that's where everything starts to fall apart. This is Wages of Sin. That night, the prosecutor meets with the person who paid him. The man behind everything is revealed to be Rossi. He deliberately set Blackwell up, even though Blackwell was one of his most trusted men. When asked why he would betray his own subordinate, Rossi explains that it was all part of maintaining his partnership with Detective Crater. The next day, Rossi contacts Crater and confirms that he has sacrificed Blackwell. In return, Rossi asks Crater to ensure that his illegal shipment next week goes smoothly. It becomes clear that Crater has been using scapegoats like this for a long time, making himself look like a successful officer while hiding his corruption. The scene then moves to prison, where Blackwell is placed inside a cell. From there, the story flashes back several years earlier. At that time, Blackwell is summoned by a high-ranking two-star general from the Nevada police. At that moment, the general gives Blackwell a secret assignment to infiltrate Rossi's mafia organization. His identity and all related records are completely sealed, inaccessible to anyone except the general and the chief justice. This is where the truth is finally revealed. Blackwell is actually a special operations officer from the Nevada police and also the general's trusted representative. 2 days later, the story returns to the present. Blackwell is set to be transferred to Nevada for a retrial, all arranged by the general with the approval of the chief justice. Not long after, Blackwell meets the general in person. After hearing everything that has happened, the general decides to bring him to Nevada that same afternoon. At the same time, the police prosecutor contacts Detective Crater and informs him that Blackwell is suddenly being moved to Nevada for a new trial under the chief justice. He also mentions that Blackwell will be escorted directly by a general later that day. Hearing this, Crater begins to panic. He starts questioning who Blackwell really is and why someone so powerful is stepping in for him. More importantly, he fears that if the retrial happens, Blackwell could expose the entire setup and reveal his corruption. About an hour later, Crater approaches the leader of a street gang. He threatens to have all of the gang members arrested unless the leader follows his orders. What he wants is simple: eliminate Blackwell and the general before they can leave for Nevada. With no real choice left, the gang leader agrees to carry out the hit. Meanwhile, Rossi storms into the prosecutor's office, clearly furious. He demands to know why Blackwell is being transferred to Nevada and starts asking who Blackwell really is. Rossi is clearly afraid that if Blackwell is freed, he will come back for revenge. On top of that, Crater has already warned him that if he goes down, Rossi will be dragged down with him. The prosecutor admits that he has no idea who Blackwell truly is. The only thing he knows is that the transfer was approved directly by the Chief Justice. After leaving the office and getting back into his car, Rossi suddenly remembers someone, a top-tier hitman known across Las Vegas. He immediately reaches out to him. The assassin, whose name is Jimmy, is then ordered to go to Nevada and find the Chief Justice, with one goal: uncover Blackwell's true identity. Jimmy agrees to take the job, but only on the condition that he gets paid double. Later that afternoon, Blackwell sets off toward Nevada alongside the general. Not long into the trip, they realize they are being followed. The general quickly changes course and leads them into a dead-end road. The ones chasing them turn out to be street gang members sent earlier by Detective Crater. As soon as they stop, a gunfight breaks out. But the general is hit during the exchange. When Blackwell reaches him, the general is already badly wounded. With his final moments, the general reveals that he has a trusted ally named Rex, someone who can help Blackwell. After the general dies, Blackwell makes a decision. Instead of continuing to Nevada, he chooses to stay and settle everything first. He wants revenge. Not long after, Crater arrives at the scene. He is clearly surprised to see that the gang he sent has been completely wiped out. From this, he realizes that Blackwell might still be in the city and has not gone to Nevada yet. Without wasting time, he leaves with his team, already planning his next move. Meanwhile, Blackwell lays low in a motel, carefully thinking through his next steps. He knows he will not stop until everyone who betrayed him and those responsible for the general's death are dealt with. Elsewhere, several gang members begin looting the money left behind by their fallen leader. They believe they are free to take everything now that he is gone. But their moment does not last long. Crater and his men suddenly arrive and eliminate them without much effort. It becomes clear that Crater also wants the gang's money for himself. The next day, the police prosecutor is on his way to the office. Out of nowhere, Blackwell appears and takes him down. Shortly after, Rossi is having breakfast when he is shocked by the news of the prosecutor's death. He immediately assumes that Blackwell is behind it. Without hesitation, he contacts Crater, who is already at the crime scene. Crater tells Rossi to stay calm. He explains that he has already sent 2 of his men to track Blackwell down. Blackwell recently stole one of the prosecutor's cars, making it easier for them to find him. Not long after, Blackwell is seen driving the prosecutor's car back to his motel. But it does not take long before the vehicle is picked up by 2 of Crater's men. They immediately start following him. Soon, Blackwell arrives at the motel and quickly begins packing his belongings, preparing to leave. At the same time, Crater's men are already outside, ready to take him out. Once they get inside and start searching for his room, Blackwell suddenly appears and opens fire. One of them goes down instantly, while the other tries to fight back. But it does not last long. Blackwell takes him out just as easily, then wastes no time and leaves the motel. Not long after, Crater arrives at the scene with several local officers. Seeing his men dead, he is clearly furious. He takes it personally and becomes even more determined to eliminate Blackwell. At the same time, Rossi is at a bar when he receives news that Crater's men have been killed. Realizing how serious things have become, he decides to move to a new location, knowing that sooner or later Blackwell will come looking for him. Meanwhile, Jimmy finally tracks down the Chief Justice's house, determined to uncover Blackwell's true identity.
Everything you know about Blackwell.
You sure you know what you're doing here?
At first, the Chief Justice refuses to talk, but the pain becomes too much. In the end, he reveals that Blackwell is a high-level special operations officer and the general's direct representative. Jimmy then presses for more information, asking about Blackwell's family. The Chief Justice cannot give an exact location, but mentions that they are believed to live somewhere on the outskirts of Nevada. Once he gets what he needs, Jimmy kills him. Elsewhere, as Rossi prepares to relocate, he receives a message from Jimmy confirming Blackwell's identity. Jimmy also informs him that he is now searching for Blackwell's family. Later that night, Crater is at a bar when Rossi arrives with several of his men. Rossi hands over a file and reveals everything about Blackwell. Crater is stunned, especially knowing he has failed to capture someone so important. Rossi then explains that he has already sent his best hitman to capture Blackwell's family. If that plan works, Blackwell will have no choice but to surrender. After Rossi leaves, Crater heads out, planning to return home. But as he approaches his car, Blackwell is already there, waiting. In an instant, Crater is taken out. The next day, Blackwell reaches out to his wife, who is with their son. He tells them to leave immediately and go to his mother's house. His wife is clearly upset, frustrated by how he is always consumed by work, and now their family's in danger because of it. Blackwell apologizes and promises that he will fix everything soon. Around the same time, he learns that the Chief Justice has been killed. That news only makes him more worried about his family's safety. Not long after, Jimmy manages to track down Blackwell's family home. Moving quietly, he breaks in and starts searching the place. At the same time, Blackwell happens to pass by the house and notices Jimmy's car parked outside. Inside, Jimmy finds a photo of Blackwell with his son, confirming that this is the right place. But he quickly realizes the house is empty. Blackwell's family is already gone. Back in his car, Jimmy contacts Rossi's right hand and reports that no one is home. Still, he promises that he will find Blackwell's family before the day is over. But in the next moment, Blackwell suddenly appears from the passenger seat and takes Jimmy out without hesitation. After dealing with him, Blackwell drives off using Jimmy's car. A few hours later, Blackwell meets his wife, He checks on his son, who is safe with his grandmother. He apologizes again for everything, for always being absent and for putting them in danger. This time, he promises that once this is over, he will finally walk away from it all. Now he only has one thing left to do: take down Rossi and everyone working for him. Meanwhile, Rossi is furious after hearing that Jimmy has been killed. In response, he orders his men to put a bounty on Blackwell. He offers $1 million to anyone who can bring Blackwell to him. That night, Blackwell is already on the move. He hears about the bounty and decides to use it to his advantage. He heads to a bar known to be frequented by gang members and intentionally starts trouble to draw attention. It works. Two gangsters quickly recognize him and hold him at gunpoint. They force him to come with them, planning to deliver him to Rossi and claim the reward. Exactly as Blackwell intended, because he still does not know where Rossi is hiding, and this is his way in. When they arrive at Rossi's residence, one of the gangsters goes inside first, while the other stays in the car, keeping a gun pointed at Blackwell. Inside, the man informs Rossi's crew that Blackwell has been captured and is waiting outside. But the moment he opens the door again, everything changes. After clearing the area, Blackwell moves deeper into the property, heading toward the pool area in search of Rossi. However, he is suddenly shot by Rossi's female right hand. As she approaches to finish him off, Blackwell quickly recovers and fires back, taking her down. It is then revealed that he was protected by a bulletproof jacket. Without wasting any time, Blackwell leaves the scene and continues tracking Rossi. He has already taken one of the crew's phones, using it to locate Rossi's current position. Meanwhile, Rossi is at a bar, growing more anxious by the minute. The fear of Blackwell finding him is clearly getting to him. In an attempt to calm himself, he decides to move again, this time heading to a casino. Once there, he tries to distract himself by gambling, hoping to find some sense of control. At the same time, a woman approaches him and continues to flirt, eventually leading him to a private VIP room. But the moment he is alone, the illusion of safety disappears. Blackwell is already there, waiting. In a matter of seconds, Rossi's fate is sealed. After dealing with him, Blackwell makes sure the woman understands that she is not involved, then leaves the scene. Soon after, he returns to his car and makes a call, following the final instruction left by the general. The person he contacts is Rex, the general's trusted ally, the one who can reveal Blackwell's true identity and protect him from all the charges against him. With that, everything comes full circle and the story comes to an end. So the moral of the story is never trust your boss, your coworker, your lawyer, or even the police, because apparently everyone is in a group project called Let's Ruin Blackwell's Life, and the only safe plan is to bring a bulletproof jacket and do everything yourself.